that. Yeah, I could go watch all those content where there's no jumper or on Vlad TV with that last lawyer talking about the case. Let me I got to touch on the Psycho Bob situation. Like, I'm a little confused about it. Apparently, Psycho Bob's mom was killed and was killed about a week ago. Says family members and neighbors of a woman, family members and neighbors of a woman found shot to death inside of a van in Fort Lauderdale Wednesday night have identified her as the mother of Southern Florida rapper Psycho Bob. They described Dorothy Dee Smart as a sweet, friendly woman. Her son, whose real name is Cambrell Smart, is associated with fellow Southern Florida artist Kodak Black, whose name is Bill Capri. According to police, officers responded to the 200 block of Northwest 30th Way at approximately 6:08 p.m. after receiving reports of the shooting. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene by the Fort Lauderdale Fire Rescue after being found inside the van in a driveway of a single-family home. Police said there's no arrest that's been made in connection to her death, and haven't said whether they think there is a potential motive for the shooting. Psycho Bob is a victim of gun violence himself. Police say he was among 3 victims shot on State Road 7 in Fort Lauderdale or Lauderhill back in 2021. That's kind of odd.
Okay, Leanne, thanks a lot. New details after a woman was shot and killed in Fort Lauderdale. We've learned she was the mother of a South Florida rapper. And Local 10's Ian Margolis is live now at the scene for us of the shooting with much more. Ian.
Yeah, we spoke with family members of the victim off camera today, all of them saying they are absolutely heartbroken. Neighbors here saying this woman was a fantastic person.
A Fort Lauderdale home standing quiet Thursday. The shades pulled down and the driveway empty. But only hours earlier, it was a crime scene. According to police, just after 6 p.m. Wednesday, officers responded to reports of a shooting at this home on Northwest 30th Way near 21st Street and found a woman in the front seat of a van in her own driveway. Neighbors confirm Smart's son is South Florida rapper Psycho Bob, who is currently in prison on weapon possession charges and who's a close friend of Kodak Black. Neighbors say Dee Dee, as she was known, was an incredibly sweet woman who was always friendly, and now police are looking for her killer.
And police tell us they have not made any arrests in this case. We have no information on suspects either. So if you know anything that can help detectives with this one, call Broward Crime Stoppers. That number, 954-493-TIPS. Live in Fort Lauderdale, I'm Ian Margol, Local 10 News.
Wow, that's interesting. What do you think the odds are that maybe her death is connected to maybe some shit her son was into? The only thing that, like, I would have thought that maybe it's like maybe one of his ops, but then I was like, damn, that's what they're doing in Florida. They can't catch you, they kill your moms. But also it said that he was in prison, so he's incarcerated. So it's not like he's out on the streets. It's not like they're like, oh, they pulled up to where he lives at and they were expecting to find him. He's in jail. Somebody says go to the 1090 Jake video. By the way, Z, thank you for the 5. She says Tasha K. Line, she was arrested for stalking before. You saw the mugshot. Really? 1090 Jake has a video on this? Let me see. 1090 Jake. I wonder how 1090 Jake been. He been good?
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all. Y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on Psycho Bob's mother being killed and the long list of bloodshed that led up.
Somebody said he taunted another dude whose mom got killed. Really? No way. Bro, could you imagine the feeling and just like, dog, you're incarcerated and somebody like I don't know how you would find out, whether it's the COs or you get a call or you call home to check up and people say, yo, bro, they killed moms, and you know, like, bro, like, you can't even get out of this jail. Like, bro, his mom's gonna be buried, and he can't even go to the funeral, which means he's seen his mom alive for the last time and potentially for the ever. Bro, that shit would drive you fucking nuts. That gotta drive you nuts. Holy shit.
Up to it. September 14th, 2023. Fort Lauderdale police responded to 30th Ave just before 6:10 p.m. after receiving calls for a shooting. Arriving on scene, a 52-year-old woman lay lifeless inside the driver's seat of a van. She was identified as Dorothy Smart, was more commonly known as Dee Dee, and a now viral video would make its way through the internet claiming someone just emptied the clip on Psycho Bob's mom. 29-year-old Cambrell Smart, aka Psycho Bob, is a Florida rapper from Broward County, more specifically born in Hollywood, Florida, and raised in Dania Beach. He'd more so be known for his close ties to Florida rapper Kodak Black, and locally known for his criminal lifestyle, as he's been making the news since 2017. As of right now, Psycho Bob is locked up in the feds after a 2022 arrest in which he was driving 115 miles per hour on the highway. When his vehicle was pulled over, the officer could smell marijuana and clearly see a bag of it in the center console. A search of the vehicle would produce a 9mm FN pistol loaded with 17 rounds. The rapper would eventually be sentenced to 5 years in federal prison for being a felon in possession of a firearm. So not only is he incarcerated, he had to go through the process of a prison chaplain pulling him from his dorm to notify him of not just the death in the family, but the murder of his own mother. With a sense of deja vu, the internet would bring back up a year-old video of an altercation inside of a mall. Two groups can be heard exchanging words when Psycho Bob says,
Your mama got put up there, fuck nigga.
It's alleged Psycho Bob was arguing with Florida rapper HMT Trey. Now Trey is from Liberia, a small hood in Hollywood, Florida neighboring Dania, and the two areas have always held a rivalry towards each other. But the story of how the two rappers' moms got involved is based on a lot of rumors and a lot of death. Back in March of 2021, 39-year-old Misty Hopkins was on the phone with a friend as she approached the door to her salon in Miami Gardens. She was approached by a man in a black hoodie when her friend on the phone heard her say, "Oh, you scared me. Who are you here for?" Misty didn't know he was there for her, and her friend on the phone listened to the gunshots that took her life. Officers arrived on scene, finding her in a pool of blood in the hallway. She was shot several times, and she wasn't robbed, leading investigators to believe she was targeted. Her brutal broad day murder would go unsolved, leaving an open wound in her family as they wondered why.
Miami Gardens police say Misty Hopkins was approaching the salon door when she was confronted and shot to death by a man wearing a black hoodie. Police say she died here in this hallway, but the man fled down the stairs and headed west across Northwest 27th Avenue.
Because of the brutal way she was killed, they say many were too afraid to go to the funeral.
So we just kind of just stayed away.
If a person was that bold to kill her in broad daylight, who's to say you wouldn't come to the funeral?
It's not right. You have to be some kind of devil to even try to shoot her in her face, or just the thought of you just putting the bullet to her face.
The following month, a drive-by triple shooting would send 3 men to the hospital with gunshot wounds, one of the victims being none other than Psycho Bob.
A dangerous roadway shooting in broad daylight in Lauderhill. 3 men shot and injured, and late Monday night, Lauderhill investigators confirming one of those victims is local rapper Psycho Bob.
We was kind of riding slow, and when I looked him in his eyes, I was like, I know who that is.
We spoke to the Good Samaritans who were driving by right after the gunfire erupted, recognized the rapper, and stopped to help. And according to Lauderhill investigators, someone in a black car started shooting at them while they were driving near State Road 7 and Sunrise Boulevard. The driver of the tan car tried to get away from the gunfire, and in the process ended up crashing into other cars.
August 31st, 2021, Misty's son HMT Trey and another rapper named Liberia Sig would drop a song titled FTO, or Fuck the Ops. While Trey really didn't send any specific shots, Liberia Sig would jump in saying, "He a dead? What the fuck I look like beefing with the red?" It's believed he was dissing none other than Wiz the Wizard, with rumors ranging from Wiz was sleeping with HMT Trey's baby mother to Wiz played a role in HMT Trey's mother's murder. In another line, Liberia Sig would say, "Chopper knock him out his element, them bitches they protected by the president." A diss towards Kodak Black and his associates after Kodak was famously pardoned by President Trump. 17 days after this song was dropped, 24-year-old Wiz the Wizard's body was found by a dog walker in front of an abandoned home.
According to Hallandale Beach Police, a neighbor found the body around 6 a.m. in front of this home on Northwest 6th Terrace and 9th Court. It's unclear at this point if the man was actually killed there or if his body was dumped, but police say he did grow up in the area. Although law enforcement hasn't confirmed who he is, the victim has been identified on social media as rapper Wiz the Wizard, and as people gathered at the scene, some pushed their way under the crime scene tape.
Only 6 days after Wiz was killed, HMT Trey and Psycho Bob would face off in the mall, and while much of what was said can't be heard, it's believed Trey was dissing Wiz's recent death, when Psycho Bob responded by dissing his dead mother. But this wasn't the only time Psycho dissed someone's mom. Only 5 months after the incident at the mall, Psycho Bob would respond to a post by Liberia Sig.
"I don't care what a nigga post, you can't top a nigga fucking your mama, boy. That's real. Now, if a nigga fuck your bitch, you gonna wanna beat your bitch ass, ain't it? So go beat your mama ass."
In April of 2022, Miami Gardens police announced the arrest of 27-year-old James Hardwick, charging him with the murder of HMT Trey's mom, Misty Hopkins. It was reported the man was co-conspirators in connection to the murder, meaning he played a role along with others, but no other suspects have been announced or charged in the case. Now, HMT Trey had another associate named 26 CJ. Oddly enough, at one point CJ was also around Wiz and Kodak. In March of 2023, Broward County sheriffs discovered a burning SUV that had been set on fire, and in the back seat was a body investigators later discovered had been repeatedly shot. The burnt, shot body would later be identified as 22-year-old Javion Ross, aka 26 CJ, and as his death was announced, post-morning Wiz the Wizard would make their way to social media, leaving many to assume 26 CJ played a role in Wiz's death. Psycho Bob, Wiz, Kodak, and Wiz's cousin Wham Spin the Bin could all be seen in Kodak's song Righteous Reapers, in a video that's now been deleted. Following the death of CJ, Wham would take to Instagram saying played with Wiz and got set on fire, furthering the rumors that CJ had something to do with Wiz's death. With Wiz murdered and his case still unsolved, Wham Spin the Bin has since cut ties with Kodak. CJ's murder remains unsolved, and James Hardwick goes to trial for the murder of HMT Trey's mom in October. HMT Trey and Liberia Sig's associate EBK Hatch took to Instagram with a post saying, "I heard a lady was about 50, got hit up with them switches," while playing Psycho Bob's diss song Stepdaddy in the background. The song is a diss towards Liberia Sig, as Psycho Bob continues to rap about fucking his op's mom. Psycho Bob's earliest release date lands in 2026, followed by supervised release, and at this time, no suspects have been named in the murder of his mother. Now, this case is wild and a little bit confusing because there's been videos that have come out speaking on Wiz. That Wiz was trying to snake Kodak, Wiz was trying to snake Psycho Bob, 26 CJ was cool with these guys, Annie was cool with these guys, and then when someone died, the other guys posted CJ. It seems like a lot of backdoor shit going on in this situation. But for mothers to be involved, it's like the ultimate disrespect. And I feel for Psycho Bob as much as I can. You know, I'm not in his position, But thinking how hard it would be to be in his position, he just started his 5-year sentence. He just found out his mother got killed. His family is defenseless without him. Obviously, he never made that much money from rapping. His biggest features were Kodak, and that was more so because he's cool with Kodak. But it doesn't seem like he never really financially took off in the rap game, as his mother was still living in the hood in a single bedroom house. Whatever.
Somebody says, act. They smoked this rapper HMT Trey mother. Trey dropped the bag and got a dude, CJ, to snake Wiz the Wiz. CJ just got killed and set on fire like 2 months ago. That's the backstory. Both sides dropping bags on niggas. Everybody down here know what is going on. Brody, shit is wicked. What? Figmunity LLC, it says Wiz wasn't trying to snake nobody. Wiz was mad that Kodak wasn't letting him see any money from the music. So when Kodak seen Wiz was starting to go against the program, he had Wiz killed. Then released Super Gremlins. Hence, we could have been superstars. I'm from Florida. I promise you I ain't lying. Nah, the super... I don't know. I felt like it was about Jack Boy, bro. That's interesting. When I interviewed Kodak on Off the Record, it was a long interview. I cut about an hour out. But it was him, he told me to do it. He was ranting a lot about Jack Boy. I cut that out. And he had told me, like, there was a part, because I think I had asked him about the Wiz the Wiz, and he talked about it, but he said cut that part out too. I don't know why. I don't know politics like that, bro. Like, I just did what I was told, nigga. Fuck it. Somebody said, why I asked? I asked. There is a video of me asking. He answered too. It's just, I cut it. Like, he hit me up. He's like, bro, just take that shit out, though. I'm like, I got it. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think Kodak really. I don't think Kodak got nothing to do with this mess, man. I think he probably don't even want to be a part of this shit. You know, from what I know, it looked like Kodak was trying to put on a bunch of artists, and fuck, you know what I mean? Like, there's beef going on all around. Shit, that nigga looked like he's just trying to put on a bunch of artists. Somebody said, obviously they didn't want you to tie Kodak. No. I'll tell you what he said. Bro, he spoke I was confused why he wanted the Wiz the Wiz part out. Bro, he spoke highly of him. He was like, man, that was my dog, man. I don't even know if the guy died. I think maybe it was, like, he spoke very well of Wiz the Wiz. It was like, yo, that was my dog, man. Like, he actually looked pretty sad too, so I don't know. All right, anyway, I am getting out of here, people. Wow, I didn't know that this was all going down in Florida. All this beef and violence and killing, like, Jesus Christ. It's crazy. Like, I be thinking these guys are just artists, but it kind of almost like, it feels like all these guys that end up becoming artists, or like Kodak shouts out to try to put on, they're all kind of involved in this beef. And I'm wondering, like, if he's picking these guys out of just kind of allegiance and size, or if he's just genuinely picking just great musicians. That's kind of crazy. Holy shit. All right, people. Somebody said Warren, Florida coming soon. I don't know about that one. All right, I'm getting the fuck on out of here. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for watching another stream. I'll be back on tomorrow. Thank you guys if you guys donated or subscribed today. Hopefully I either shouted you out or you saw your name on the screen or in some capacity.